Welcome to NABOR's Allied and Affiliate Spotlight Show, the show that gives you tips and strategies, tools and resources to help you save time and money, streamline your daily tasks, grow your business, and help you become a more successful and advance your career. My name is Corey McCloskey, and I'm the president of NABOR and your host. In today's episode, you will hear from Dave Arter of Private Client Insurance Services, and also Michael Michetti from Woods, Weidenmiller, Michetti, and Rudnick. Let's start with you, Michael. Tell us a little bit about your company and what services you provide to NABOR members.
Sure, no problem. My name is Michael Michetti. I'm a partner at the law firm of Woods, Weidenmiller, Michetti, and Rudnick. I am one of the partners in the real estate department. Our department specializes and works in residential and commercial real estate. For the perspective of NABOR, we do a lot of residential real estate closings. We are probably one of the bigger firms in town that handles that. From a title insurance perspective, we are the number one producer for Old Republic National Title Insurance Company in South Florida. So we do a lot of residential real estate closings. We also handle commercial real estate. The law firm in general does commercial and civil litigation, business law, and real estate. We've got roughly, I believe we have 15 lawyers now, and we're somewhere around 35 or 40 support staff. Relatively large operation located in central Naples. We have an office as well in Bonita Springs.
Awesome, thank you. So tell us a little bit about Private Client Insurance Services.
Well, Private Client Insurance Services, we're a full-service property and casualty insurance agency. So we focus on property, liability, etc. I oversee what's called the personal lines department. And personal lines involves homeowners insurance, flood insurance, auto, umbrella, jewelry, collections, things of that nature, anything that you own personally. So that's what I focus on. So of course, that's why I'm involved in NABOR, because when realtors have a transaction, the buyer generally asks, well, do you have a landscaper or a handyman? How about insurance? So that's where I get involved. And again, I oversee the personal lines. But we've been in the business for, it's about 17 years, 2004. We have 15 employees. We have a staff of 5 people here in the personal lines department. And again, we work hard every day to provide the most comprehensive level of service that we can.
So Dave, thank you for explaining me a little bit about Private Client Insurance Services. So give me an idea. What's the number one question you get asked these days?
Well, I actually have 2 right now, Corey. The first question I'm always receiving is, why are my property insurance going up so much? And the second question is, what's going on with the flood insurance right now as of October 1st? So first of all, the property insurance market has just really gone crazy. The insurance carriers, after Hurricane Irma, we experienced basically a 3-year hurricane because we didn't see the claims the same manner that we saw for Irma as we did for Wilma and Charlie. I talked with someone the other day that just signed off. They just had a claim settled and they're getting a new roof, and they signed off on Tuesday. We didn't have that after Charlie and Wilma. So it was essentially a 3-year hurricane from the claim standpoint. Again, we didn't have people filing claims up to 3 years after. We had another claim. It was just a couple months back or so. $191,000 was paid out. So these are things that are catching up. I guess some of the insurance carriers are calling it Irma creep, where it's creeping up on them because they've experienced so many losses. So virtually all the Florida property insurance carriers have lost money. So the premiums are going up. There's been some legislation that has taken effect back on July 1st, and we just have to see how things go. But it's a very tough market right now as far as property insurance. Next, as far as the flood insurance, FEMA and the National Flood Insurance Program just rolled out Risk Rating 2.0, which is a new way of calculating flood insurance. you really have to forget about 90% of what you knew about flood insurance in the past, because the rules don't apply the same way that they did. For instance, the flood insurance rating maps, the only reason for using the flood insurance rating maps is whether you need flood insurance or you do not need it when it comes to a lender. Otherwise, the X zone, AE zone, and the V zone for velocity have gone out the window. Every property now is rated on distance to water, where in the past it was only the velocity zone or the VE zone properties. So it's taken quite an undertaking, and it's had some major changes in the rating. I've seen some premiums go down, but for the most part, they're going up, and in many cases significantly.
Thank you for that. So Michael, I'm going to actually ask you the same question. So what's the number one question you're getting asked these days?
I think the number one question I'm going to get asked after people watch this is, where's he going?
Well, of course. Okay. Other than that.
Other than that, the number one question we get asked as attorneys tends to be pretty market driven. So in today's market, when we're hearing a lot of, properties are flying off the shelf, the number one thing I'm getting asked is, how quickly can I get a closing done? Or can I get the closing moved up from, 2 months from now to 15 days from now? And, the answer to that depends on the property. It depends on if there's financing or if it's a cash deal. It depends on if there are inspections, but you got to be careful with doing really quick closings and offering to do really quick closings, so that as an agent or as a buyer, you're not giving up contractual rights, your right to review title, your right to get a survey. If you do things too quickly, things can get missed just from a timing perspective, because surveyors can't get out to the property. Inspectors can't get out to the property. And I know we're in a seller's market, but you also can't give away the house to get the house.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's great advice. So actually, Michael, I'm going to throw this one back to you as well.
Sure.
Without divulging any names of agents or customers or what have you, do you have any memorable situations in your firm that you've been able to, that you can tell us about, where a customer or a client has been overwhelmed with the wonderfulness of your service?
The wonderfulness of our service, I don't know that anybody ever is overwhelmed by the wonder. We're incredibly responsive. Myself and the attorneys that I work with built our practices on being responsive to our clients. If you're going to call me, you're going to get a return call within hours, if not minutes. If you email me, I'm usually emailing right away, and that's on the weekends or holidays even, to the point where my family's all nodding in the car going, yes, he's responding too quickly, he's annoying us. But that's the nature of the practice, and we get it. The realtors work on the weekends, so we have to work on the weekends to answer questions. And that's one of the things we pride ourselves in doing at our firm.
Awesome. Well, I think that, that's wonderfulness service. I'm telling you, that is, because not everybody does that. So, all right, Dave, I'm going to throw that one to you as well. So do you have any examples with, where you have provided outstanding service to a potential neighbor member or a customer that you want to tell us about?
Well, I'm going to reiterate on what Mike said, and it's about being available. Yesterday I had a client call, a prospect. He's going to be closing, and he got a call about an inspection. I was on the bench press, and I dropped the dumbbells, picked up the phone, and it wasn't an urgent matter, but it was important and it was urgent to him. So they do like for you to pick up the phone. I had my 2-hour-old granddaughter. I was holding her in the hospital, and I picked up the phone. Again, and if you explain to them, look, I have to pass off a baby, they're appreciative and so forth. But for instance, not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, 7:37 p.m., my phone rang 3 times after that. And it's important that you pick up. And that's what separates myself. That's what separates people like Mike, and I know Mike, you know, he runs an outstanding organization there. But that's it. I think a story, I would say several months, it was probably a year after Hurricane Irma. And I won't divulge a name, but a client, Dennis, he calls in and or he stops in just out of the blue. And our receptionist said, Dave, Dennis stopped in, and I'm saying, okay, so I'm out of the office. I said, I'll be in, he's going to stop back in an hour. So I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? He's a high-end client. So I come back in, and I don't see anything wrong with his account. His policy doesn't renew. And he comes up to me, he says, Dave, first I want to apologize for not contacting you after Hurricane Irma when you called. He says, I just want to give you a hug because when you called and you were out at our property checking it out, we were in Mississippi evacuated. We didn't know if we had a house. We didn't know if we had a roof. We didn't know what we had. And he said, the fact that you were out there the day after the hurricane, he said that was so gratifying and it was fulfilling to me. And he happened to be in the next building from us. He said, Dave, I come here every other month for this shop. And he said, and shame on me for not stopping in, but he says that's why I stopped in. So that was kind of a neat story. You like to get a rewarding compliment like that now and then.
Absolutely, that is for sure. Good stuff. So I'm going to turn things around a little bit. Dave, what do you like most about being a member of the Naples Area Board of Realtors?
I like going to the events. I like going to the meetings and learning. I like listening to the speakers. The members in general, some of the members have become very, very good friends, close friends of mine, and I always like to see a purpose. In fact, do you mind if I plug one?
Go ahead.
Tomorrow night, I know that this isn't a live broadcast, but NABOR is hosting a bingo event, and I plan to attend, and it's to benefit Valerie's House. And Valerie's House is a tremendous organization that the leadership class has just embraced and done so much for this year. But tomorrow night, 6:00 p.m., there's a barbecue, and then bingo from 7 to 9. But again, it's to benefit Valerie's House, which a lot of people are aware of. They counsel and provide services to grieving children who have lost a parent. So I just wanted to put in a plug, but I like the events, I like the people, and the information I gather and knowledge is great. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So same question to you, Mike. What do you like most about being a member of the Naples Area Board of Realtors?
You know, I would agree with a lot of what David said. Back when I was a little bit younger and could focus more on getting out and going to events and things like that. Certainly that was a great benefit of NABOR. It's gotten to the point where, you know, we're busier and we're older and we have more responsibility. So as you can see, I'm in a car right now going to another responsibility. The thing I like the most at this stage of my career is the sense of community that NABOR gives to its realtors and its affiliates, and being able to help those affiliates and agents out, whether it's, you know, answering a legal question for an agent, or getting involved by sponsoring an event, or, you know, whatever it is. That's the part that I like the most.
Awesome, good stuff. So Dave, before we wrap up, is there anything that you would like to tell our members about your office or your firm that you want us to know about you?
I'll just say that we work hard, and I've been in the insurance business for, I'm going to lay it out all the way. I've been in the insurance business for over 40 years. My claims of fame is I've never been sued. I've never had an Arizona emissions claim. I want to keep it that way. The other thing is I've only taken 2 sick days in that time frame. So again, our agency, my work ethic, I think, separates us from everything else. I called to get some help from an agent the other night, and it was 5 minutes to 5, and I was told, well, you know what, she's already logged out of her computer, so sorry, you know, she can't help you. Meanwhile, and again, there's a little clarification here, I do this fast, I'm thinking, okay, I'm an hour and a half away from taking my lunch break, and then I'm going to see my granddaughters, and then coming back to the office, and that's on a Friday night. So I would say we outwork our other people. You can teach the X's and O's, but you really can't teach the work ethic. You're born with that and your values. But I want to thank you for having me on the show and everything too.
Awesome. Thank you. And Michael, back to you. Is there anything that you'd like to make sure that to get across to the members who are going to see this video?
Sure. I mean, like we've kind of been saying, we work really hard at our office. We've got a group of lawyers who work hard. We're incredibly responsive, but we're also a family. And the attorneys that I work with, we get along great, and we try to treat not only our clients, but our referral sources in the same manner that we treat ourselves. So, you know, we try to think of them as family as well and give everybody that same level of support and effort that we give each other in the office.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. So Dave and Michael, thank you so much for sharing the benefits of your firms. And Dave, you have one more thing you want to say?
Can I just add one more? Okay.
Of course.
When we started out here, one of the very first questions that we were perplexed by here is where is Mike going? And Mike, thanks for jumping in here. I think it's great. And Mike's on his way. He's taking his daughter to the state championship golf tournament. And so, Mike, I just want to wish your daughter the best of luck and so forth. And you're a great dad and a great lawyer for coming on and a great NABOR member. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for having me, Corey.
Thanks, David. We appreciate that. I'll pass that along to the little one.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, Dave, that's amazing. You took the words right out of my mouth. You and I are like right here. So best of luck to your daughter, Michael. And thanks y'all so much for jumping on the show today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.